So welcome back. It's been a while since I've done one of these. Unfortunately, real life work does get in the way of your part-time hobbies. But we are back with everything that you can get this week on sale that's going to give you the best bang for your buck to get those quick completions. So let's waste no more time. Let's dive into this week's videos and see on what games we can save this week. So let's jump into the first sale that we have on offer that week, and that's the Game Pass 50% and more sale. So the first one off the bat there, just Midnight Suns there, overly 60% off, $27.99. This one is going to take you a long time, with the base game taking you around the 80-hour mark. There's also some DLC parts which you can upgrade for extra G, making this game worth 1,510 G, but that will then push this game into the 100-hour mark. You've also got there Gotham Knights, which has just recently been released into Game Pass, so might as well save your money on that one and get your Game Pass subscription out and pick that one up. You can see here we've got also the Batman Arkham games. The one there, Batman Return to Arkham, 85% off, a real bargain there at $5.99, with Arkham City taking you only around 15 to 20 hours to get the full completion, so that one's not a bad completion time. The other one, Arkham City, is on longer side again up around that 80 to 100 hours. Something a bit quicker now, Monopoly here, so you get both Monopoly Plus and Monopoly Madness for this bundle, which is 70% off at $13.49. Monopoly Plus is going to take you only 1 to 2 hours to complete, so really quick completion there, and Madness not too bad there at 4 to 5 hours. As you can see, we have a whole host of other games on sale in this one. Gorgio there, that one's only $3.59, a right bargain, when this one will only take you again 1 to 2 hours for the completion. I Am Dead there, that's not a bad completion time either, at around the 8 to 10 hours, and is rated 4.25, so a really good game there worth considering at a reasonably cheap price. And as you can see, there's just more games here, plenty on offer for you to be picking out this week. We got South Park there, The Fractured Butthole, that one's 80% off at $9.99, so if you don't have Ubisoft Plus there, you can pick that one up. And we have Telling Lies there, that one used to be in Game Pass, is not at the minute, but is a really quick completion at 1 to 2 hours, and is 75% off at £4.18. Campfire, we've mentioned that one a lot of times, The Last Campfire, 80% off at $2.39. This is another highly rated game, rated 4.25. 12 minutes there, a quick completion game, also used to be in Game Pass, which is not at the minute, but 50% off at $10.49. This is rated 3.5, has some great voice actors in this one, and will take you only 2 to 3 hours to get the full completion. What Remains of Edith Finch, another game that used to be in Game Pass, currently 75% off at $3.99. Really critically acclaimed, this game. If you haven't got this one, then you can invest 2 to 3 hours to get a nice 1000 G. And that pretty much rounds off what's available in that sale, with just a couple of DLC packs there at the end. In the open world sale, we haven't got much to talk about in this one. You got Watchdog Legions there, the gold edition, not a bad price that, 80% off at only $16.99, but again, you're going to be looking at a 40 to 50 hour completion, which is not the worst for an open world game, but is definitely not on the quick completion side. Then the only other one worth mentioning really here is Far Cry 6, 75% off at $14.99, and that's another really good price for this game that only recently came out. This one will take you again a long completion at the 60 to 80 hour mark. In the action adventure sale, got a couple of quick completions to point out here, with a whole load of decent games here, as you can see on sale this week. The two I'm going to be pointing out this week is here, The Edge of Reality, Doctor Who. As you join the Doctor on a quest to save the universe, this one's $5.99, which is 70% off. This one will take you 4 to 5 hours to complete. And the other Doctor Who game available, Doctor Who The Lonely Assassins, is $3.29 and will only take you 2 to 3 hours to complete. So there we have it, two great quick completion games, and as you can see, there's just a couple of other games on sale. So if you're interested in any of these, you've got Lord of the Rings Gollum there, so if you're looking for one of the stinkers of this year, that might be one you want to pink off, whilst it's 80% off at $20.99. You also have the other Watch Dogs there, $12.74, and newly released WrestleQuest. That one's not been out long, it's currently 30% off at $17.49. So let's do it. Let's run through every game that you can get this week with that 1 to 2 hour completion. And as always, we're starting on all those games that can be completed in under half an hour. And we're starting off with 4 games that are available for Windows 10. And all these games have some massive gamer scores. The first one being 50 Years. This one's again available for Windows 10, 45% off at £2.30, so nice and cheap. Is a strategy turn-based game that has a massive 4000G on offer for half hour of your time and is rated 2.75. Our next collection of games are all from the same publisher, and that's Grin Robot, and the first one on offer is Butterfly. This one has 3000G on offer, is £2.30, 45% off, and is rated 2 stars. Its sequel, Butterfly 2, is also available this week for Windows 10, 45% off at £2.30, also rated 2 stars, and is worth 4000G, and both these games are platform puzzlers. The other game available from Grin Robot this week is Smart Moves 2, again available for Windows 10, again rated 2 stars, is 45% off, again at £2.30. This one is another 3000G that you can add to your collection. Going back to the console side, we have Enter Digiton, Heart of Corruption. This one's 70% off at a nice round £2. I like that, not £2 and a penny, but £2. This is rated 2 stars, is a platformer, and this one's only worth 1000G. Bit of a come down after that last collection of games. From Earth to Heaven next, another 2-star rated game, £3.76, which is 35% off its regular price, and this is another platform game. Masto is together. God, how they pick these names, I have no idea. He's a sugar-free marshmallow, and you can help him fulfill his dreams. This is from publisher East Asia Soft and developed by Rataliki Games and Kind Cat Games. Another platformer that takes about half hour, 60% off, really cheap this one, $1.67, and is again rated 2 stars. Volley Pals, 40% off, £3.23. Again, you might be able to guess this one's rated 2 stars. It's a party volleyball sports game that would net you 1000G. And the next game has only just been released by East Asia Soft, and that's Betamis. Now, the good thing about this one is you can get both the Xbox and the PC version for a discounted price of £3.35. So you can get both versions, giving you a grand total of 2000G for the very small price of $3.35. So this is the perfect opportunity to grab this game at its release. And hopefully down the line this will pick up a few updates, and with both versions available, you'll be able to double that gamer score every time there's an update. So a brilliant opportunity to pick up this game now. So moving on, we have every game that can be completed in under an hour but is over half an hour, and the first one is a new one that I've not seen on these lists before, and that's Roads of Time. 50% off at £2.09. This was released back in July. Is a management game. Very intriguing. I definitely want to be checking out this one from publisher 8th Floor. Seems to be an interesting game that will only take you an hour to get that 1000G and is already rated 3 stars. Another game that's only recently just came out at the end of September is Love Huistio. Really? Come on people, make these games so I can read them. But they're 20% off for its launch, $3.99, has retro pixel art, relaxing mood setting music, and 5 different endings. Fluffy Horde is next, 75% off at £2.09. This one's rated 2 stars and is a real-time strategy game. And the final one in this time bracket is Teacup, $4.61, 45% off, rated 2.75, and is an adventure game with a heavy focus on narrative exploration and non-linear progress. So we move on to all those games that can be completed in 1 to 2 hours to finish off this video, and this is where the majority of the games are going to be. The first one is a new one to these lists, and that's Radon Blast, 30% off at $2.93, rated 2.5 stars, and this is an action brick breaker. Now, the original Smart moves for Windows 10 is going to take you that little bit longer, so that hence why it's on this list. But again, the Windows 10 version is 45% off at £2.30, and this one will net you another 4000 G, making this a really good week if you haven't picked up any of these big G games, especially for the Windows 10 versions. Airy, Sky, Castle next, so good to see Airy in this week's sale as always, 40% off at £5.03. This one is rated 2 stars. The Forest Cathedral next, £8.11, making it probably the most expensive game in this list, 35% off. This one's rated 1.75, so not a brilliant game for the price. And this is a first-person environmental thriller adventure game. Secret Agent Cold War Espionage next, 50% off, £4.19, rated 3.25. So this is a really good action adventure game. Has had one title update, making this one worth 2000 G. So even though it's a little bit more expensive than some of the others, you are going to be getting that extra 1000 G. Run Sausage Run, that's a title and a half, 75% off, cheapest game on the list this week, £1.04, right bargain that one for a quick completion, rated 2.75, and this is a party platformer. Nirvana Deluxe Edition, 65% off at £2.20. This is an 80s sci-fi nostalgia retro sci-fi anime vibe, neon lights with beautiful women and ultra fast spaceships. So basically an arcade racing game based with a visual novel. This one's £2.20, 65% off, but it is only rated 1.5, so even worse than the Forest Cathedral. Elementals Death Metal Deathmatch, so another party game on offer this week, 65% off at £2.34, and this is another 1.5 rated game, so that's 3 stinkers in this 1 to 2 hour category. So if you're looking for some bad games, definitely check out this week's sale. Oh, another new game this week that I've not seen previously, that's Maggie the Magnet, 40% off at £2.51. This one's rated 3 stars, so a good game as well, 40% off, £2.51, and that will net you 1000 G. Ooh, Jack Quest, yeah, we're continuing with the theme of some new games I've not seen previously, rated 2.5, 80% off at £1.67, so a really cheap game for a platformer Metrovania. So cheap, good, and will net you 1000 G in 1 to 2 hours. Where the bees make honey. Well, I did ask for some simple titles, and here we go. So this is a puzzle game, 80% off, another really cheap game, £1.67, and you'll be at a net not 1000 G, not 2000 G, but 1200 G. So if you're looking for a little extra, this game has it, and at £1.67, really cheap. But the cheapest of them lot is our next game, 83p, what a bargain, 80% off, Woodle Tree Adventures. This one's worth 1000 G, is rated 2 stars, and is a quick, cheap completion that everyone should be picking up this week. Definitely don't pick up its sequel. I heard that one is a lot more difficult and will take you a lot longer. The Adventures of Eleanor Temple Definitive Edition next. This is a retro style platformer game. This one's also had an update, making it worth 2000 G. Is rated 3 stars, 70% off at £1.19. So some really good cheap games with some decent gamer scores here. Definitely a good week to be having a look at some of these sale games. We got 2 left. The next one's is Evans Remain. This one's rated 2.75, 70% off, another cheap game at £1.73, and this is a platform puzzle game. And the final one is The Great Perhaps. We've mentioned this one a few times before, 70% off, £2.51, nice and cheap, and is rated 3 stars. So what a great way to finish off this week's game. So there you go, that was this week's breakdown of everything that can be completed in 1 to 2 hours. I feel like there's a really good mix in there this week. We got some great Windows 10 games with that huge gamer scores. We got great console games in there, again with cheap prices, big gamer scores, but as always we've got those stinkers. We've got an airy game in there. There is something in there for everyone this week, so I'm definitely sure you'll all be finding something to play. And as we mentioned at the beginning, you've even got those big AAA titles that will take you a lot longer, but are a great value this week. So definitely check out all the different sales that are available. And if you're finding this information helpful, then please do like, share and subscribe to the channel. We'll be back now bringing you these videos every week, along with whatever other videos I can throw out there, from guides to tips to complete game playthroughs. We'll be covering it all to do with Xbox and Game Pass, so definitely make sure you hit that bell notification so you know when we release all our videos, because just like this video, it's important to know when we release sale videos, as this sale is only on to the 9th of October, so make sure you pick up those bargains straight away. Well, that's all I've got for you this week. I do hope you find something. If not, there's plenty of games always being chucked into Game Pass, so definitely think about getting a subscription to Game Pass if you haven't. But thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you all in the next video.